Boom! Live and direct on the TruMon Show with my brother, Master PT. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. PHINE fine. Yes. In
Great.
five.
pH. Yeah, the pH has to be
Yes.
balanced for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If we want to have some clarity, less fog in the brain, I think that's what it is.
Yes.
Just going to clear the fog that people may have in the brain. I don't know if everybody has fog. Me, I'm clearing it with
Yes.
some clarity, not only this, but other things, other encounters, you make in life, and gives you
Yes.
clarity, bigger, like broader perception and greater perspective, maybe I can
Yes.
say.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is that there's a lot of ignorance in this world, and the people here and the beings here. There's a lot of ignorance there. So it's not like, I mean, everybody knows that
Yeah.
it's like more like an insane asylum. The whole place, like, there's a lot of insanity. So it is. So that is there. Like, so it's more than a fog. Even, I mean, it's to the
It's more
point of
than
it.
a fog.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, I re-listened, I rewatched the talk we did last week and last strong. I know I'm not
Yeah.
weak, last
Yeah.
strong. And
Yeah.
I noticed something you said, and it really, really resonate with me all week, all strong.
Yes.
Again, I get caught up. You see, that's
Yes.
the conditioning. It comes out by itself. It's so
Yes.
weird sometimes. The words just, that's why you have to think of the words you say. I
Yes.
have a song that's what it says in it. You got to think about the words you say every
Yes.
single time.
Yes. Yes. The
Wow.
discipline of it. Yes. And yeah, because there's a lot of blabbering going on. People blabber all the time and without
Yeah,
actually knowing what they're saying. And so that
exactly.
creates more confusion on all the listeners, people who listen. And then people say, oh, that person said this person said that. Now, what do I make of this? And what do I make of that? And it adds up to the confusion, and you get more negative karma, like, for doing that kind of, yeah, thing. Like,
That's it. And that's why also I give a lot of attention of the word
yeah.
I use, especially on YouTube Live. I mean, I'm not in my living, not my, that's not my living room.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
in the room here beside with my people. Only,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, the holy basil. Okay, you
Yes.
brought that up the last talk, and I heard you when you say it. But when I do these talk, I'm live with you, so I like to re-listen after from the spectator review. That's what I told
Yeah.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
And the holy basil. That something. Now we're talking about not necessarily the basilic that we eat,
Yeah.
but it's very similar. It's in the same family. And
Yes.
I was thinking about it, and there's the word basilic. Where
Yeah.
the Catholic people have those
Yeah.
big, big church.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
called
Yes.
the
Yes. Yes.
basilic.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Why this?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is that, see, the point is that it is actually this plant which actually has all three humors balanced. Okay. Now, so, like, anything is in balance like that. That is automatically holy. Okay, holy with a W, HOLY. Holy. So then, if you have to have some sacred space or sacred architecture, then you'll have the same basilics in that, like, to balance of the three elements. So the same thing is used in architecture to balance the three, that thing,
Okay,
humans.
I get
So
it.
so
I
so
get it.
so so that's what makes it holy. Like,
Yeah,
otherwise it's not holy. Like, so,
yeah,
like,
that's it.
so, yeah, yeah. So,
I think they try to act
yeah,
also the holiness maybe because
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I never found
Yeah, but
nothing
they
really
don't know
holy
that,
in church.
they don't use that real proper technology for actual making buildings and
Exactly.
actually balancing the elements. They don't do that. So it is just for name only, not by function.
Okay. Now we're gonna dive deep into the scriptures for the now, for sure. Me,
Yeah.
that's a book I read over and over again, and I will again. The four-prong approach, okay, and that's I laugh when I read that. I laugh as soon as I saw the first one. He who knows not and knows not that he knows not is a fool. Shun him.
Yes.
You know, he who
Yeah.
knows not and knows that he knows not is a child. Teach him.
Yes.
He who knows and knows not that he knows is asleep. Wake him. And he who knows and knows that he knows is wise. Follow him. I
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the four. It's basically there's nothing really much to add on this. It is what it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
we're gonna dive into the basic definitions. Okay, that's the section of the book for the viewers.
Yeah. Yes.
Please, and that's a really, really great picture. You
Yes.
have a
That's
lot
that's
of
Oregon.
beautiful pictures in there.
That's Oregon. I think that's Oregon coast. Yeah.
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 So divine define. Okay, that's something in here. One may ask, what is divine? As we are communicating in English, we have to use the word divine, which simply translates to divine or perfect branching because it comes closest to the characteristics of Paramatman, a Sanskrit term. Give me a chance with those terms.
Yes.
God is too loaded a word, mostly with misconception. Also, it is a male term, while divine is beyond male and male-female polarity. Even though Paramatman or divine is beyond the realm of words, the simplest definition is the original creative spark, which, despite having created all the creations and dimensions, lies outside of it all. That's interesting. I'm going to come back on this. I'm just going to read the other thing here. Divine supports and encompasses all good, real love, peace, harmony, non-violence, painlessness, etc. Many of the innumerable qualities of divine, like perfection on all levels, are well documented in Vedic texts like the Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharat.
Bharat. Yeah.
I get it. So yeah,
Yeah.
so divine, tell me more about this because many people like you just say the word divine and they get like a weird feeling. To me, it's
Mm.
very easy to talk about it. Very easy to talk about divine love and all these things that are
Mm.
natural to us more
Yeah.
than other stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe you can extend and give your
Yeah. I
more
mean,
of
the
your
thing
insight
was
on
that
it.
what I'm was trying to say in that was that divine actually now is like can be it's a like real science in a real science way, like not fake science which they give us, but like the real science way can be understood as perfect branching, like because dye is diverse, like you have many dye means many, like bi means two, uni means one, bi means two, dye means many. Okay, and wine is branch, is everybody knows wine is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so
basic stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, so wine, so diverse branching in phi ratio, in golden ratio, is divine. Okay, so when when the golden ratio is applied to that, the phi ratio, then that becomes divine in a like a visual term, in a mathematical term. Okay, like, but on a psychological term or on any other level it is different. Okay, so like we can understand these things now from a like a science perspective, visual perspective, which is fractality, which you're seeing in the video behind. Like, okay, so the same,
yeah,
whatever is happening, the same colors are happening on the sky. Okay, so whether it's a visual perspective or like you can in terms of like a perfect fractal like Mandelbrot sets and other fractals, and so there are different things visually which people can see now using 3D animation and stuff, which can actually give you a glimpse into, oh, if someone asks what is divine, you know, like you can show them, okay, this is divine. Okay, like first in a visual term and stuff like that, and then after that comes qualities. Qualities are different things, like which is like what should be the quality of a divine, more divine being. So like then like connection with nature, and knowledge, peace, all these things, what level of comprehension, all these things come as qualities. So those things are related to that. Okay, but people have to start somewhere. Like right now we are not in those kind of dark ages where you can't tell or show people what divine is. Okay, like it's not a matter of belief anymore, like where people have to believe in something. Oh, this is something we don't know, maybe it's something, who knows, like that. Then that kind of ignorance is not, like, this is not the time for that kind of ignorance right now. so so
it's like
people,
humanity pretend that they can stand on the fence.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
I
there's
mean,
no fence, there's no in between. It's one
yeah,
world or the other. If you're not
yes,
if you're
it's
not
real.
part of the solution, you are the problem.
yeah, it's reality. It's like you have to face reality of right now, in that, we are not in that age like 100 years ago, or 200 years ago, where these things were not known, where there are no computer animations, graphics, anything. Or like even the films, like whatever my films are like, we didn't have the cameras to everybody didn't have cameras to go around and uh, document events. I mean, this has only started in the last 15 years. We have had the technology to actually, like, put this all out in front of people in a very clear way, where there is no sort of running away from it. So that's the same with crop circles or any of the phenomena. Like, all those are happening in a way where they're documented. People can't run away from this. It's nothing which you can run away from. Like, so all the definitions of divine and everything are more clear now. Everything is clear, what that is, what is holy grail, everything is known, but only by a few, like, not the masses, not the majority. Majority has no sense of it or any idea of it or anything. And that is because of their, now, in these times, that is because of their own choice. It's not because it's not there. It's because you don't want to know. Okay, so then the blame comes squarely on you, not on the fact that, oh, it wasn't available, or it was not there, or how could I know, like, we had no, that those kind of excuses will not work now. Okay, because the situation is different now. Everything is more out in the open, it's more clear, it's more in front of you. If you still put your head under the sand, I mean, then that's your decision to put your head under the sand. And that, so, and then accordingly things will happen to you, according to your action of
Exactly.
whatever you do. So these are not times where this kind of massive confusion is there. And the thing is, like, in a lot of the, like, even the so-called truther community, people don't know these things, okay, in reality. So people are more interested in just coming on channels and increasing their subscribers, and making a whole lot of, like, saying things which people would like to hear. you know Whenever you give them stuff, like, which, okay, like, you can give them false hope, what I call, like, you give them false hope. Like, hey, everyone, you can just do it all, you can just do it just like that. Like, if you say these kind of things, everybody likes to listen to that. You might get like 100,000 subscribers in a month, if you say stuff like that. Like, I mean, if you stay clear from reality and give people false hopes and false illusions, then everybody is ready for that. I mean, people have been programmed in 20th century by, which is what I call a century of films. you know it's a film century where movies were the main thing. So a lot of illusion and fantasy has been created by films already. So people are already in that space where if you give them more of that, then they are fine with that, like, without having to face reality. So that kind of thing is there. So uh, all this, what is happening is that people are not looking at what the actual things which are happening. So, like, divine's definition, for example, it's there now, it's very clear now, and it's, people can actually see the fractal and see what divine looks like, how it is an infinite fractal. No matter how much you look into it, it'll look the same. No matter how much you zoom in, how much you zoom out, it'll look the same. So it's a, like, the even the definition of infinity, what is infinite or infinite, in knitted in phi ratio, is is all clear. I mean, if all of these things are much more known now, it's not a mystery, it's not some sort of, you know like, story from grandma, okay, or anything like that anymore. So yeah,
Especially with internet, like, we have so much
yeah,
so much stuff available to us
yeah,
to get clarity. If
yeah,
again, if you seek at the right place, like
yes,
there's many charlatans out there. You
yes.
talk about it in your books,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but
yeah,
that is because people don't have any basics. Okay, if you don't have any basics, if you don't have any connection with nature or basics, you don't have any common sense. If you don't have any common sense, after that, it is impossible for you to weed out anything or have any sense of discrimination. Okay, so even to discriminate between fake science and real science, okay, requires discrimination. Okay, which you got to have. I mean, and how will you have that? For that, that's where the basics come into play, and
and
that's, yeah.
And also, when I observe around, like I say often, I don't see hate. I don't. I see it in the heart of people because they choose to have it. But I
Yeah.
see love around. I see divine. I see something very, very paradisiac. I mean, it's not to me the world. I don't wake up each and every day in hell, but that's a choice to be in hell. But divine is it an automatic thing? Like, do I see like I say, I see love. I see people with good heart. It's not because they don't have a good heart, but it's
Yeah.
the divinity, is the divine thread, the divine stuff automatic. Like you say at one point, I think in the book, that consciousness is not an automatic thing.
Yeah.
So is divinity, do you get to
It's not
that
all. No,
divine
no,
stance automatic? Like, are
no,
we
no,
all divine and
no.
bingo, we're all divine and
No,
let's not care about the
no,
rest?
no. The thing is that there's no like. The thing is that people who beings who are here, okay, in this plane out here in this existence right now, they are not. They're very far from divine. Okay, like I'll repeat, very far. Okay, that's why they have been put here. Okay, like this is like a prison sort of situation for people who have gone against the laws of divine or laws of multiverse. Okay, so this is actually, so you are actually like on a rebellion with divine rather than being divine. Okay, like so it has to be understood very very clearly. Like, okay, so whatever is considered good and stuff out here, good, the word good is not exactly really good. Like, so people think that, okay, like maybe social service is good, but social service is not good at all. Okay, so like what people consider good out here is just a way where you bond together in rebellion against divine, actually. Because when you're doing rebellion against divine, you are in trouble, right? So when you are in trouble, you need to get together in order to like minimize the damage which is happening to you in as a result of that rebellion. Okay, so that is what is actually happening. So people, so like we are all in it together sort of thing, like, okay, you are all in it together only because you choose to go on a certain kind of way which is going against the divine multiversal laws. Okay, if you go, if you're not rebelling against those, then you can be alone and be fine. Okay, like you don't need and support of another 100,000 people. Okay, so that's the thing out there. So people don't understand that it is not about like this definition of good where people support each other in this game, which is basically a game which is actually a rebellion against divine. Okay, so so like that kind of supporting each other is not of any good use to yourself or to others. Like, yeah, so
Yeah, and that
yeah,
rebellion against divine, I
yeah,
lived it myself for sure. Without knowing, you rebel against divine. But that's
yeah,
what a lot of people say in this world. I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. But
yeah,
if I don't think it's very good to rebel against Babylon or the system and
yeah,
become like go in the streets and rebel and stuff, and then you rebel also against divine. So I
yeah.
don't think even the
I mean,
rebel
I mean,
word
rebellion is this the
is
true
like
rebellion right now.
applicable for each
Uh,
side. You know
the
what I
true rebellion right now would be to go along with the divine laws and multiversal laws. If anyone does that right now, that person is a real rebel. Okay, the person who does the right thing right now, because that will be going against the majority. Okay, okay, that will be the going against, because all of that, like, like when you, the way they rebel against the system also, that is also show rebelling. It's a show. Like if you go out on the street and just with banners and stuff, that's just a show. Like it's not actually a real rebellion. Okay,
mean?
you want that system to just somehow change to suit you. Okay, like, but the system by itself is not based on any multiversal laws. So it's not like you can tweak this or tweak that or tweak this in it to make it that thing. The whole thing is upside down. Okay, when the whole thing is upside down, you cannot make changes or cosmetic changes to it or protest for cosmetic changes. That is just foolhardiness. That's nonsensical. It's a time waste. It's a waste of energy, and it's a waste of. It's just like you trying to show that I'm a good person, okay, or I care. Okay, but this is not a matter of show. All these are not matter of show. This is matter of actuality and reality. It's not a matter of just showing something or creating an image of some kind, where people look at you like, oh yeah, yeah, this person is like this, or this person is like. It's not about that. And like, so any actual going along with natural laws and divine laws is the real rebellion in these times. Like,
I think so
yeah,
too. I think
yeah,
so too. But people been letting go. But I think we don't. I was looking at the word responsibility also because it's very important to take our
yeah,
responsibility. But I think the reason why we don't take responsibility or we don't see it is because we've been given rights. So to us,
yeah,
we put ourselves in the box of human rights. This is
yeah,
our rights, so we
yeah,
don't have to take responsibility because that's our rights.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then we lose all meaning with life. We lose the big meaning with life. And what
yeah,
can give meaning to your life is responsibility towards
yeah,
higher and divine. Today,
yes,
this is so clear to me, Prashant, so
yeah,
clear that the road is towards a higher and praising and serving a higher and divine. There, I say it every day, repeat it every day.
yeah,
It's very clear, but it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't seem to be very clear for many people.
Yeah, yes, because rights are like that thing. Okay, it's a bratty thing. Okay, like I have a right to that thing. People think they have a right to information, right to this, right to that, right to. Okay, just because you exist, right, means just because you exist, the fact that you exist makes you like have certain things just because you exist. Okay, not because of your action, but
Exactly.
because of your existence. Just the fact that you exist um, makes you like have certain things or certain like privileges just by existing. Okay, so that is a funny concept in itself, that without action you will actually have that. So that is a like, so in that way people shirk responsibility, and that works well for like the beings who are controlling the system, that because these people can be easily manipulated and cajoled to do things. Yeah, and then they are given a false sense of rights and end up as slaves. you know so you have your slave rights basically, which is not much, like, so yeah,
Because a being that is have his head screwed properly on his shoulder knows how to behave, and
yeah,
like when I go out, I know how to behave. I
yeah,
know
yeah,
how to behave in society or in their madness
yeah,
network of shared madness, like you say.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
very true.
yeah,
That's what it
yeah,
is. It's a network
yeah,
of shared madness rebelling
yeah,
against divine,
yeah,
literally.
yeah,
And without awareness, also, without awareness, and this is so that's in the four prong approach that you say.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like, people's goodness is checked quite quickly. Like, okay, if something higher comes in front of them, okay, how do they react to it? Okay, if something higher than themselves comes in front of them, how do they react to it? So their reaction tells you how good or bad, or how far gone they are in the rebellion against divine, in the negative path. So yeah,
And maybe we don't recognize the divinity and divine so much because we're too much also in our bubble, and being in
mm,
our bubble, we are bigger than God, and it's settled. At one point, you say that
yeah,
you become
yeah,
bigger than God. Most people, it's settled. They're bigger than God, bigger than everything, and that's
yeah,
all. They see the world as they are.
yeah,
That's
because
one big mistake we do is seeing the world as we are. Like it's so
yeah.
much more immense than myself.
Yes, yes, but that's how all these things come, like that's why people feel like this. Oh, if things are so bad, why does not God do this? Why does not God come? And so like they become that thing, and experts on what God should do as well. Like what, yeah, like
That's true.
they're experts on what higher being or any entity should do in a certain situation. So that means they have more intelligence than that higher being or that God as to what should be done in any situation. Like, so like that is like putting yourself above it anyways, again, which is again part of the rebellion anyways. So I mean, you see a lot of these comments all over internet. Why doesn't God do this? Like right now I've stopped believing in God because there's things are so bad, but God is not doing anything, and all that. You can find millions of such things all over, like, so
And
that
I
means
think
like,
if,
yeah,
like
yeah,
my mother always said, help yourself and the sky will, God will help you, or the sky will. Aide-toi puis le ciel
yeah,
t'aidera.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, but instead of doing that, it's always that thing as to what the other person should do, or what higher being should do, or what so-called like this God term should do. Like, like what there is always this thing, not that you're going to do something, like it's what that thing is going to do, like, that's. And there have been a lot of religions and stuff which have done that, like which have put all the responsibility on something else than one's own action.
Yeah.
So people are programmed in that kind of way in a lot of so-called sects, which have become religions. They are sects only, but they have become religion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Here you go. You say divine equals perfect fractality and perfect coherence. Okay, you would
Yeah.
just hear the perfect fractality and perfect coherence. Coherence is also the congruence. Is congruence same
Yeah.
as coherence? Yeah.
Congruence is a starting point.
Okay.
When the waves
You're
become
congruent
congruent,
with your
they
being
start adding
first.
up. They
Okay.
start adding up. Yes. And like it's like making sense. Like if you say something, it should add up. Like one thing you say to the next thing you say to the next thing you say should add up. It should not fall apart at any point. Like that's coherence. Like if you speak something as a whole, a truth at all points, it should make sense through and through. Not like it makes sense here but does not make sense there, but makes sense here but does not make sense there. It can't be like that. When it's like that, that's incoherence. That's
That's
yeah.
it. You cannot go. It's like me coming here talking about truth and that, but now I'm trying to sell my car, but there's a little thing on it that needs to be fixed, but I wouldn't say it to the people that buy it. I would be very dishonest, and like that's total incoherence.
No,
My wife say, no, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. But I insist on saying it because I said I cannot lie anymore. I don't want to lie. I want to be coherent with my being.
yeah, but coherence is more than just saying little things in this is age or this world or this little things. It's more than that. It's coherence means actually making sense about everything. Like if you say something like anytime, like, and people put it all together, then the whole thing should make sense from all times. Like that's the thing. Like a lot of people in YouTube, they come and say things like, but they say some right, okay things, and then they say some nonsensical things. Okay, so the sum total is not coherent. Like all things don't connect to everything, right? you know like like in a machine, even like if everything is not connected right to everything, it will not work.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So coherence is actually everything being connected right in the right ways, so that things make sense and things actually work. Okay. So that's coherence. Okay. So that's in a psychological way, or anything. Like if some people are doing the diet right, but they don't doing the psychological work. If they're doing the psychological work, they don't do the diet right. If they're not doing the diet right, they're not doing the other things right, or they're not connecting with nature. If you don't do the whole thing, the holistic thing, and the whole thing making sense as a whole, then that is coherence. Okay. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you go and perfect fractality. What exactly do you mean by perfect fractality? I want to hear you again.
Okay. Fractality is
This
like this. Okay. It's
repeat is not a luxury.
because fractality works at many levels. Okay. Fractal, you can see it as a Mandelbrot set, which fractal means like where no matter where, how much you zoom in and zoom out, you can see the same thing. That's a fractal. Okay. Like in a design. Okay. I mean, it is there on my, like that thing, website, LotusOcean.net. In the center, there's a cup. There's a cup within a cup within a cup within a cup within a cup. You can zoom in infinitely, you'll see the same thing. You zoom out infinitely, you'll see the same thing. Okay. Okay. And like, for example, at this play, which is I'm doing out here on the screen behind you. Okay. So it was like gonna go past the sun. Okay. So I'm doing that play. So then the sunlight is on me at that time when I'm saying that. Okay. So that's a fractality. Like what you were saying, doing, everything is in place. Like everything is together. There is
And you
no,
feel it also when you
yeah,
feel
there
it.
is no actual separation
Okay.
in what you are saying and how, what the events are happening around you, your surroundings, yourself, everything. It's all the same thing. you know so that is fractality in action, in experience, for a being. Like that is not just something on a screen which you see, like a animation. Okay. It's in your life. Okay. In your being and in your existence. Okay.
E-
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. You say it here. What these are cannot be understood without a personal experience through divine's grace. Personal experience.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
so if I'm doing this play and I have no sun on me at that time, like then it won't make that much of a difference, that play. Like, and I'm doing that play when the sun is on me and that particular thing is there, then only what words I said had relevance. So what words you speak, where, I have to have that relevance of what is actually happening and what is that moment. Okay, like not something else, you know. So like, so that is
Exactly.
so there is a whole lot of that thing to that that is a like a, I would say, like very secondary tertiary thing for people right now. For people, just to do basics is good enough, like, from my point of view, like. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you go and say, for sure, in the present time, space realm world, PT Avatar is providing a glimpse, but that's what we did now. Lah. I'm
yeah,
going to skip to the other part. As long as beings stay humble to the divine, there is no pain or torture. Evil is born the moment any being rebels against divine. This rebellion arises simply from wanting praise for itself, which it does not deserve. I
yes,
love this. I love this because that's why people take selfies. You know, they go on fake book and plaster their shit with their wall
yeah,
with all kinds of stuff that just to get praise. But what are you doing exactly in life? Like,
yeah,
why do you want us to praise you? Like, it's so
yes,
nonsense.
yes, yeah, because the point is like, when you are a prisoner in a prison situation and a prisoner is taking selfie, like so like, if you are out of the prison and that thing, and you show that if you take a prison that you are out of this prison, that selfie will make some sense. Okay, like you have done something, you have broken free of the prison, and now you're outside the prison and you're taking a selfie of yourself outside the prison because you have broken free. Okay, so that will tell other people, oh, this person is broken free. Okay, so that is some has some meaning. But to do that inside the prison, which most people are, and it makes no sense whatsoever for them to do that, like, because you are still in that, like, inside that bad situation. You're not in a good situation. Like, people just don't understand that they're not in a good situation, like and they try to hide that by getting praise. And that the whole thing was like, I mean, that's what this whole world in the West is about. Okay, right? Sports, music industry, all of that, what is it about? It's about gathering praise, right? There is no other, like that thing you can find for it. Like, there is no other reason for all those things to exist. And if, like, two people are boxing and one person wins in the boxing, then that person gets praised for beating that other person, right? There is no other.
It always comes to this. It always
Yeah,
this
yeah,
society is built
yeah,
like that
yeah,
to reward the wicked. Like even
yeah,
we reward the wicked people on TV.
yeah, yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
sick.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
totally insane. We know it.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
We're not
that's
here
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, because either you're going to praise higher divine and its qualities, which actually exist, which are reality, or you'll seek praise for yourself for qualities you don't have. Okay, so then that is the two paths a being can actually go by. So, but like, not sticking to reality is the biggest problem here, because for getting praise for yourself, you'll have to not stick to reality, because in reality you have not done anything praiseworthy. Okay, and you're not doing anything, and so, like, you are staying far clear of reality, so. And people get themselves all kinds of, stuff, like, in this world, to get different kind of praise. And I mean, that's what a lot of YouTube channels are opening as well, and stuff for that. And like, for people are giving praise to those people, and when they actually don't deserve it, and they're giving them half baked, half cooked information, which in turn is of no use to anyone, actually. you know like that. And that's what people find, like, okay, I got this information from this, all these, but it did nothing to my life. It didn't change me in any way. Like, it didn't give me any direction. It didn't give me any sense of actual application, which I can apply to my life and actually change in some way, in a positive way. Like, so all that is happening in the name of praise only, gathering. And it is there in every strata of this thing. And that's where the rebellion, to me, the core point of the rebellion is. That's the core point of the rebellion, basically. Yeah,
right there.
yeah, yeah,
It's elementary, my dear. Listen.
yeah,
After severe disconnection from nature and creating a plasticky, concretely blissless world, people's definition of divinity doesn't carry connection with elements. When divinity is, has always been, always will be all about connection and manifestation through elements. There is a reason why the elementals are the devas, demigods, the good guys, the real good fellas in Vedic wisdom. Agni, fire deity. Vayu, wind deity. Varun, water deity. Their head being Indra, wielder of thunderbolt. Their mother being Aditi, sky deity, the fifth element. Their support being Prithvi, earth deity. The
Yeah.
body is made up of these elements only, and the soul ascends to higher realm only after purification of the elements. Element is elementary.
Yeah.
The devils are always in heaven only because they always bow. But do you say bow or bow?
Bow, bow. Yeah.
Bow. Okay, you saw me struggling in my video with that word.
Yes. Yes.
Bow to the source, divine. That's
Yeah.
it. No, that's powerful right there. The elements, but this is not something we're totally disconnected from nature, like you say. So
Yeah.
the elements, what we see of the elements is a periodic table of elements. You know, that's the notion I had of elements was outside of myself, wasn't had to be alchemized or something within me, or so we're so disconnected. It's crazy. And
Yes.
again, the connection with nature doesn't happen just by, like you say, going to a pristine spot and sit there and enjoy the nature and say, oh, I'm connected to nature. It's much
Yeah.
more than that. I would like you
Yeah.
to extend on the connection to elements and how to play with the elements also.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that humility is required first, right? Like, so if you see something good in nature, you have to be able to actually say that this is good and what's good about it. And like, you have to be able to word that from your mouth and speak it from your mouth, so that is your like what I would say, like, that you are praising. Okay. That is your acknowledgement of it, like, like, it's not just, if you're not acknowledging it, and if you acknowledge it, and then afterwards you get into a sense of praise, and the same sense of praise will get from nature to divine. That's not much of a jump to do then, from praising nature to praising divine. Like, it's not much of a, but if you don't have any practice, like, if your practice is only praising like fake Hollywood deities and fake Hollywood stars, fake stars, okay, then you have a problem. Then when you switch over to divine, you have a problem. Then you don't know, like, because that's not meeting the parameters which you are actually praising, and those parameters were not actually praiseworthy. So so that's so that's what happens. So that's where, like, when you go get in touch with nature, little humility is required. And beings lack that humility right now as a whole, in the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they are. I mean, people are quite unhumble in all the nature spots, the way they even, that thing, the kind of, the touristy way they go there, and
We
like,
look, we
yeah,
look, but we don't observe.
yeah, but even just your own body language of people there is not respectful. I mean, you can tell by the body language if you just do a half an hour film of them
Oh,
walking
yeah.
with that.
Arrogance.
Yep. Yeah. There, like, you will get the picture, you know like
Oh,
like
you can see
yeah,
it when you go roam around. Even
yeah, yeah,
yesterday, look, just a small example. Yesterday, I'm at the chilling spot where I make those video, and I'm sitting there in the corner, like I'm alone at the end near the falls. Like there's maybe I don't know, 4 foot by 4 foot space. I have my
yes,
chair there, all my stuff. I have the camera in front of me. I'm talking to the camera. There's a man that come right beside me, behind me, behind
yes,
the camera, like I'm
yes,
not there at all, like no manners whatsoever.
yes,
You know,
yes,
I would
yes.
have never done this. Not that the spot belonged to me,
No, no, but it's
but
just like it's their
man,
body language, and then people, like,
they're so
nature has been turned
blind.
into that thing. Like, people go there and do river rafting, in a river. Like, okay, so, like, how is that respecting the river, right? Like, you're trying to fight with it, you're trying to overcome it. You're not respecting it. Like, people do hiking and stuff. Like, again, you are challenging yourself against the nature. That's what hiking is about, right? It's not anything to do with respect or anything of that thing. Like, you're just, like, torturing yourself with a big heavy load on your back, and you're just running around there. And when you're doing that, like, last thing you can do is appreciate anything.
Exactly, because you go
Yeah,
there to conquer the mountain. Like your
yeah,
goal in your head is you gonna ascend that mountain. You're gonna conquer it. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
why
yeah,
don't you just take time, to
yeah,
climb and take breaks and you know, major. I
I mean,
don't know.
you don't have to climb that for that. You can appreciate it from a distance. You don't have to
Right,
climb it.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you will only see the mountain from a distance. You will never see it while you are on it.
It's like the madness of escalating Mount Everest. What do you think about that? Like,
Yeah, it's just another pain and torture device. I mean, you go there, you'll get frostbite. A lot of people get frostbite, and then they have other people to lift their stuff as well. They don't climb with all their stuff themselves. They have to have some people, local people, to lift their stuff, lift Sherpas and stuff to lift their stuff up. So it's just the same nonsensical game. I mean, it's nothing to do with nature at all. The base camp of Mount Everest must be one of the most polluted spots on earth. So so so
oh, so
so
yeah,
so
that's not.
so you can well imagine what the situation with that is. So I mean, that is just nothing to do with appreciation. The whole mentality is totally wrong. And
And look what you're doing there. That's very
yeah,
significant. I look.
yeah,
That's what it is. Playing with the elements.
yeah, 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 yeah. But for that, I don't have to physically exert myself in any way. I'm not exerting myself in any physical way for that. you know
No, it just happened natural. It's
yeah.
natural.
So
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, that's the whole point. If you are doing anything against nature, if you're going against the current, then only you will have to exert. you know like Otherwise you don't have to exert yourself. So when you are going with the flow, then you don't have to.
and
like
could,
uh,
I
yeah.
have another thing to talk to you about. Could storms like hurricane be very divine? Because I was watching a video the other day, and a guy was talking about our thumbnail, our thumb print on it. You know, like the shape of the fingerprint here.
Yeah.
It's the same as a hurricane. So could the
uh,
hurricane be the fingerprints of the
yeah, I mean,
divine or something
okay.
like that? Like,
That's fine. When this book, which Peace Gita was released, this book was released. Then Hurricane Gita came, like a cyclone. Gita, okay, came in the Pacific Ocean.
ah,
Okay, yeah. So just after this was released, so you can see. I've had so many films or judgment updates, which of all the storms which have been created in a divine way and doing a purification around the earth. And I like this storm in Australia. I was in the center, and with the previous clip, not this one. The previous clip, which was there. With the lightning.
oh yeah, yeah, the one we
Yeah,
saw before.
yeah, this one. More forward, slightly forward. Yeah,
This one,
this one.
yeah,
Yeah. So this was in central of Australia. This storm started,
the
and
camera.
that thing, and then this within like a day, this whole thing became equal to the size of Australia. It became equal to the size of Australia. This storm, there was nothing from zero to the size of Australia.
Wow.
So then obviously, I mean, the storms can be created and hurricanes can be created. And in the like English, like Sanskrit, the word hari is for divine, and cane, is a stick. So it's like divine's stick, like
That's why they used to hit you with a ruler in school.
yeah. So it's a hurricane. It's a cane of hari, like which
Yeah.
is another name for divine in the. So yeah. So
Higher and lower. Okay, this
yeah,
is very interesting.
yeah,
Higher and lower. In a world where equality is a mass slogan propagated by evil minions, applied to gender, race, beings, etc., and higher, lower are seen as swear words. LotusOcean declares that there is higher and lower. The definition of a higher being is quite simple. A being is higher than oneself if the being is more connected to the divine than one is. Regarding how will we know, G and O, very important, etc. It is very clear within the first instant to those that are honest. If one doesn't know how to behave properly, again, that's what I was saying, with a higher being, one has no chance of progressing towards the eternal, delicious, overwhelming bliss that is divine. And that's what happened exactly yesterday to me. Like, I wasn't intended, like, I could have talked like for hours and hours with that guy, illuminate and clarify his whole existence, but because of his behavior, I did not even mention a single word.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's the whole thing, like this equality thing, that everything is equal, but that's not true. That's not. I mean, even all the plants are not equal. Nothing is equal. Like, I mean, everything has different level of being and standing and vibration and stuff. Like, so, like, there's a charge and there's a charge coherence. So even what you call your spirit, which inside you, is your charge coherence inside your being. So even at your very core level of your being, that charge and coherence in different beings is not the same. So no two beings are the same in their charge and level of charge coherence. And there is more stronger ones and there are weaker ones. There are more and there are less. Okay, like this is the reality of the thing. And like divine is like perfect fractality. Then there'll be less than perfect, and there'll be less. Like, so there'll be a huge strata of that. It's not like there's going to be a whole that thing of it. It's not just going to be, you know like everybody's equal, which is a what I call a new age lie, which has been propagated in the last 150 years. And people find it that in reality it doesn't work anywhere. you know if you actually, in any kind of reality, try to make it work, it's not going to work, because that's not the reality of any kind in the first place. Like, so like, I mean, if people think that, oh yeah, if this person can do this, I can do this too, then, I mean, but it's not going to happen. you know like, it's that's not how it works. Like, so people, again, it's just, again, running away from reality. And if people keep this equality thing, then there is no evolution possible. Okay, if everybody's equal, then no one needs to work for anything to get any higher, or get to a higher state. No one needs to do anything. Like, like, you're already there. If you're already there, then you don't really need to do anything. So then, I'm saying, that takes away from any action, any real positive action. For, like, you can see how it psychologically affects people in that way, which then they think that they are fine as they are. Okay, but how you are as you are, like, is not fun, or is not good anyways. Like, it's not giving you any pleasure or bliss. You're getting problems, and you're getting all kinds of wrong things happening to you. So, like, it's not good enough. Like, so obviously there is a higher state than your state. Okay, so,
And
like, yeah.
that's it. The pain and torture again. Pain. I have experienced pain for sure in my life, but the torture thing. Yesterday I was talking about that, and it happens to us for sure. But we torture the soul. I think because I've never been like really tortured physically. I've
Yeah.
never like suffered physically on earth here, but my soul has suffered
Okay, I
many
mean, that
many
can be on
years from.
mental level, emotional level, physical level, any level. Okay, doesn't have to be. I mean, all levels. Like, there are different levels to a being. So all those things happen at different levels, and once they happen at other levels, they can finally come into physical level too. So one experiences that on a physical level too, once it starts on mental or emotional level. Yeah. So
That's it. Start
yeah,
somewhere for sure.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. And yeah, you go with very clear within the first instant to those that are honest. Honesty, very important also in the process. But we gonna come back. There's a whole page on it. Bliss. Okay, people ask what is bliss because we gotta go through this booklet. So I want to also not spend 25 minutes on one page because we're like never gonna end this thing.
Yes.
People ask, what is bliss? Bliss is DNA on fire going past speed of light. Bliss is Kundalini. And this, I heard this, speed of light. I heard this in a reggae song the other day. And that's exactly what they were saying. And I was so impressed. I was like, I had to play it on the radio. That's what I look for, lyrics that, people say that kind of stuff. And that's what she was saying in the thing,
Yeah.
in the song, that we have to put ourselves past the speed of light. And I was like,
Yes.
wow, that's powerful. I saw that in PT's book.
Yes.
So
Yes.
bliss is Kundalini going through the crown chakra. Bliss is all the chakras flowering like lotuses. Bliss is ability to steer one's souls after death. Bliss is creating a rainbow at will. Bliss is the brain on ecstasy through Kundalini juices. I love that one. Bliss is surfing time without ever falling. Bliss is to have one's fate completely in one's own hand. Bliss is the ability to play with the elements. This is just a little taste of bliss. It is many more such things which most cannot even fathom. And the one that I like you said, bliss is the brain on ecstasy through Kundalini juices. And that makes a lot of sense. Because if we are a tree of life, we have some kind of sap inside that needs to ascend, just like a tree. You know, we
Yes.
are electric also.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about that, the electric part of ourselves. I'll come back to this, but yeah, the
Yeah.
Kundalini juice ascend the juices, ascend the sap within yourself. Maybe that's what happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, then that's like that's the whole thing of the glands, like all the pituitary gland and the all the glands we have, like from the throat to the pineal and pituitary pineal complex. All of that is for secreting those things, but which will not happen for most people because they don't have the like neither the body, the diet, or the purity to actually experience that. Like so, like that's because people are just not taking care of the basics. And whatever this world is there like is to actually take people away from that purity of being, or that so that people don't actually get to experience these things. And once you are in a rebellion with divine, okay, there is no question of experiencing bliss. I mean, there is no, I mean, like that goes without saying. Only when you turn the road other side and you actually go towards like going for the divine, from rebellion to divine, then only you'll start experiencing some parts of it. So like even like connecting with nature is also like the starting point for like having some of that going within your being. Yeah.
You know, if we talk about the Kundalini juices and all that stuff and the sap ascending and that, yeah, that's it. The sap needs to ascend, but the pine tree, why do they take the like the pineal gland, pine cone? Like if you can find a pine cone in the Vatican yard, like the pine tree seems very significant because there's a Maniatum muscaria mushroom
Yeah,
often
because
growing
because
under,
because
like the
that's the shape of the
and
pineal gland.
hold on, and the pine tree always leaks a lot of like gummy stuff.
Yes,
Like
yes,
it's
yes,
probably the tree that leaks the most. Like you don't want to touch them because your finger gets all stuck.
yes, yes. Because that's the shape of the pineal gland. Pine cone shape is the shape of the pineal gland. That is the exact shape of the pineal gland, and it is a fractal shape again in the way the things are arranged in a. It's in a phi ratio only, and that is the actual shape of the pineal gland. So that's why it gets this importance. So like, and that's where the like if the kundalini reaches the pineal gland, then that's called the third eye opening. So that is the thing which is called that. But I mean, that is very tertiary stuff. Most people cannot even that thing, that level is not for people right now. For people just getting some basics, like connecting with nature, or like getting some control of their own body and diet and being, is a very very starting point. Those are very tertiary level things, which like that's why I don't go into detail about those kind of things, because it'll not benefit people in any way, shape, or form actually, from what the state they are in. Even like intellectually knowing about those things will not help them in any way to actually get there. So
No, because it's like you
yeah,
take a
yeah,
shortcut to get there.
yeah,
So there's no
yeah, yeah,
shortcut in
yeah,
self
yeah,
awareness.
yeah,
Step
yeah,
by
yeah,
step, day
yeah,
to day process without stress. Don't stress
yeah,
yourself. Like I don't come here talk to you
yeah,
about. I'm talking about the basic stuff because I know
yeah,
I have
yeah,
to relearn how to live. It's simple.
yeah, 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 yeah. And that the whole thing is
Very
against purity, obviously. Like the whole thing is the whole system is to make people more impure, like, right? like everything in the society and everything is to make people not pure. Like it's just to make them impure, because I mean, purity means like you are aligning with divine rather than going against the divine. So that's, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Here you say no pill, alcohol, drink, drugs, relationship, self-guided diet, meditation, or yoga can give it. That's very
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Only way is learning from those who have it by bowing and serving.
Yes. I
That's
mean,
why I'm
because the thing
here.
is that, because it's an attitude thing, isn't it? Like finally, like everything is an attitude, right? Like if you don't have a right attitude, like if you have an attitude of rebellion against divine, for example, that is your basic attitude, then what you eat and what that thing after that, that will even not help you, because your general attitude is of against that thing. So like main thing comes to the attitude thing. Like you have to change your attitude. at a core level. Like, so like they say there are two paths you can go by. The two paths are this only. Either you can rebel or against divine, or you can align with it. Okay, those are the two paths. Like, there is no third path. Like, like,
And
so
again, we
yeah,
have tendency to kind of believe that if we align with divine, we got to be perfect
yeah,
at
no,
start.
no, nothing like that,
Okay,
nothing.
can you
Yeah,
put some clarity into this?
no,
Because
no, no, no.
I
Like,
don't think
aligning
I'm
with divine
perfect.
is just a starting psychological process where you say, like, okay, whatever the laws are in this divine laws, in this multiverse, in this universe which I'm in, okay, I align with them. Okay, I want to align with them. I don't want to that thing go
You don't
against
want to
them.
praise evil anymore.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to go against that. So that is a psychological process. And
Okay.
like, going into nature and stuff helps with that. Like, if you go to nature and stuff, like, it helps with aligning with divine much more than those people who don't do that. Like,
Then sitting in front of the TV, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, 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 yeah. So appreciation of nature automatically puts you in the right frame of mind to actually align with divine or align with that thing, because again, nature leads to divine only. So, but still, like, one has to, but like, some people think that they are appreciating nature, but then they want to stop there. They don't want to go further than that.
They stay
Yeah,
in their car.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
Or they
go.
don't want to. Yeah,
That's the funny thing you see
yeah,
now. I watch videos sometimes people going in the states in the desert and all that, but they go with their car and they stay in the car. Like the idea of people going out these days is a lot with their car and staying in their car. It's kind of weird.
yeah. I mean, it's not just about. I mean, even if they walk out there, like a lot of people walk and stuff, but then they walk in a way which is going to be taxing for them. So they'll be walking so many miles, they'll be so tired, and they'll have that thing. Oh, they have to walk 7 miles today, 10 miles tomorrow. Like, like, so they have these goals like
Yeah.
that, and which takes away from all appreciation of nature. Like, so I mean, it's either that or that. Like, it is never in balance. Nothing is done in balance, obviously, and that is obviously because the whole attitude and mentality is stuck that way. Nothing is done in balance, like, so.
But if the pH, first of all, if your pH is not balanced, everything
Yeah,
goes off. The fog start creating in there, and you have a very foggy brain. And like I don't know, me,
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
and
felt a
that's
bit
why
like that
that,
before, but
that's exactly why I say, like, everything has to start with the one's own posture and body. Like, if you take control of your posture and your body, like, just that basic thing, that's good enough
yeah.
to start. Like, so and the centering for that, like, that is what I say is the beginning point to for any being to, like, get a more, like, clarity in this sort of crazy mess which is, or insane mess which is around them. Yeah,
In the
so
muggle world, like you
yes,
say.
yeah,
So we got to finish this session with truth, okay? Because we say we're going to make them an hour or so each.
yeah,
Truth is the most misunderstood term in muggle world. I like when you say that.
yeah,
It is usually equated with being accurate about how many toffees one ate or how many apples one stole, how much text one avoided. The unending information on forms or other such useless petty trivia meant for upholding the unholy system.
yeah,
Krishna. Now it's important, it's not Krishna, it's Krishna. Who always denied eating the butter would be considered a liar under current definitions, which people like Gandhi have propagated.
yeah,
Real truth, as in Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. I think
yeah,
I say good. Meaning truth is Shiv is beauty. I like this. I like this because I'm going to tell you something. Hold on. It has nothing to do with anything to do with this artificially created society and structure and its battle matters. Real truth is more to do with seeing reality as is without any distortion. Truth is facing the reality of one's own being and the lack of happiness therein. Truth is in the laws of nature and divine, which are pure scientifically verifiable principles, not subject to change in time. Truth is that divine exists. Truth is that happiness can only exist where when divine is praised.
yes,
And what really got to me is that truth is Shiv, is beauty, because you know what's the truth? I say often the truth is experience, the truth is the beauty within you,
yes,
the beauty part of you. What do you think about that? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that this is like a Sanskrit shlok from the that things, and Shiv is a being which is open his third eye. Okay, so and he's in that bliss state. Okay, that is called Shivatva, state of Shivness, which it's nothing to do with marijuana or anything like that. Now, right now, they show Shiv smoking bongs and stuff in the West. Like it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with actual truth and reality and facing reality. So once you do that, then you get to beauty of any kind of beauty. Like whatever beauty is, and beauty is not a subjective thing which people think it is. It's an absolute thing, actually. So beauty is an absolute thing, and it is reached by actually practicing that truth, which is the pure principles, the multiple laws, the divine qualities, and actually uh, finding about them, actually praising them, through praising, inculcating them, and then practicing them. So that is how beauty is gained, and beauty is the goal of a lot of beings on in this world or any. And if they want that, they'll have to go towards truth. There's no other way. I mean, otherwise all this plastic surgery and everything is not gonna give you any kind of anything. Like whether on a physical level or a internal level, it's not gonna give you that. So truth is the only thing which leads to beauty, actually. Like, so that's why that connection between truth and third eye and beauty and the whole thing, like divinity. So
And everything becomes natural also.
yeah,
Like I don't know if I have attained that beauty
yeah,
within me. Me, I'm not I don't like to pretend or to say I'm there. Like I'm
yeah,
evolving. I'm evolving. I have a deep desire to evolve, but
yes, yes,
to say
yes,
that
yes,
I'm
yes,
just doing my thing. I'm trying to clear the trauma, most of it, and get
yes,
to the truth within my being, which is,
yes,
I think,
yes,
the beauty
yes, yes.
within.
Obviously, like if anybody's after the truth, then that's the right thing to do in this world. And but the real truth, reality, not just something like here and there, whatever, like fake thing which is going on in this world right now in the name of truth. Like, so that
But
is yeah, that's an important point there.
I
Yeah,
can see why also we are not facing reality outside of ourselves, because we don't face the reality of our own being. Like you say, the lie starts by, I think it's you that say that, the lie
yeah,
starts by the moment you pretend to know how to live, and then
yeah,
all the
yeah.
rest is a lie.
Yes, 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 yes. Because you actually don't. That's a fact. The
Yeah.
fact is you don't. The fact is you don't know. You have no clue. You have no clue. You have no idea like what to do with the human body, or like that's a fact. That's just a fact. Like, so
We don't
yeah,
even know our
yeah, yeah,
body. That's
yeah,
the so like we're given the most advanced technology you can ever have is your body.
yeah,
And we're not even aware of what's in it, how it functions, how
yeah,
to get it into alignment, how to prevent disease, how to. We just let everything happen. Disease happen, torture, pain. We take it, and it's like,
yeah.
come on, bring it on. The store is
Yeah.
open. Like,
Yes, yes.
come
I
on.
mean, yeah, I mean, that's like being a soldier in that rebellion to divine, like a brave soldier. Yeah, like, like, like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, that kind of bravery is like, it can be called bravery or it can be called foolishness, whatever you want to call it, like, So, yeah,
Right.
so, yeah, yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
think. It's you say
yeah.
we're very foolish. We're not selfish. We're very foolish.
Yes, yes,
Seriously, it's like a
yes,
circus out there, and
yeah,
there is
yes,
circus, but it's like a real circus with
yeah, yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
fools.
Yes, yes, yes. And the first step, very first step to everything, actually is like knowing your level and state and being honest about it, and like saying, okay, I don't know, then I will learn. Okay, because you don't know, then you learn. Okay, that is the starting point.
That's
Like, yeah,
exactly what I said
yeah,
to Arthur Christian when I get on the
yeah,
TruMon show with him, and we both say to ourselves, we're deeply fucked up into a system. I know it. I know I have to undo this. I have
yeah.
to realign myself because, and I think we're all deeply fucked up. It's the
Yeah,
expression is
yeah, because it's nothing
hard,
to do with the system. Like
but
the fact that, like, okay, you can't even, it's nothing to do with the system even. The fact that you don't know how to live or what to do with the body. It's just because system is just not teaching you. But there can be a system which doesn't teach you, but that doesn't mean that you cannot learn yourself.
exactly.
Like, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not the end condition. That some system has to teach you. that. Like, so yeah.
Exactly. You gotta have the desire
Yeah,
to learn, to
yeah,
evolve, and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
clear for me. And I don't need nobody to knock on my door and to like
yeah,
give me that fire. It's
yeah,
within
yeah, yeah,
natural. I
yeah,
have this
yeah,
naturally, and I want
yeah,
more and more of it, more
yeah.
consistency.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
truth. You talk about truth. Number one ingredient in truth, consistency, right?
Yes. By coherence, consistency. Consistency is part of coherence. It's
That's
a
it.
word which is part of coherence. That word coherence we talked earlier, that is part of that.
Will the Because I think the consistency will bring you to a more coherent state, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Obviously. Yes, obviously. Yes,
So I'm
yes.
doing the right thing. I'm being consistent in my stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know like
Yeah, being consistent is
exactly
obviously.
where
Yeah,
the
yeah. Obviously, if you're inconsistent, then obviously coherence is gone.
okay, perfect.
No, coherence is not possible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So I'm
Okay,
doing the
we
right
can
thing. It's
finish on
good.
that note today. That is enough for people, I think, for 1 hour. Like the amount of attention span people have. So, so
Wow.
yeah,
So
yeah,
thank you very much, Prashant. We'll do it
yeah.
again next Wednesday. You're still available, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
yes, yes,
Like I say, my goal is to go through the whole book because I think it's good to read. It's good to like write it, but coming with you, the author of the book, and give him some more clarity. It's everybody will benefit from this.
okay,
And I
yes,
think that's what you
yes,
want people to benefit
yeah,
from your book. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel you're in this for money or something like that.
yeah,
If it
yeah,
becomes the byproduct of your success, or you take it, but I think you
yeah,
want people to get clarity. Like
yeah, yeah.
we're in this for the benefit of us all. It's clear.
Yeah, I
Come
mean,
on.
these are the things of these days, books and stuff. Like in the Vedic time, there was no books. It was all by speech and listening. So, I mean, these are just forms which these days people have, I want to use and stuff. Like, I'm not very interested in it myself. Like, the whole actual learning and teaching happens from mouth and listening, and so that was the Vedic way. So, which I've said.
Especially listening, but it takes courage to listen. Some
Yeah.
people lack courage. They lack that. It takes a lot of courage to listen, for
Yes,
sure.
yes,
As
yes,
much as to speak. I need
yes,
courage to speak, but even the 25 of you listening, you need courage to listen to us because we're going to the core of our existence also. And I think
yeah,
it's the meaning of life. Get your life some kind of meaning. It comes with responsibility. That's all.
yes,
You,
yes,
you take responsibility, your life will suddenly have a great meaning. And it's not only a responsibility. We're going to come to that stuff, responsibility. We're going to talk about it. But
yes,
yeah, we have a lot of stuff to cover. So
yes.
be here again next Wednesday. We're going to be here. Thank you very
Okay.
much, Prashant.
Okay, 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 Yannick. Everything has been
Large
nice.
up.
Okay. Yes,
Much love
yes,
every time.
yes, yes.
Thank you very much.